This is a good time. I think our time is just one of those set in time type of times.
Al Green was the first great soul singer of the 70s and arguably the last great Southern soul singer. Al Green became a popular soul singer whose hits include 1971's Let's Stay Together. While at the top of his career in the 1970s, Green became a reverend and chose to focus on gospel music. Years later, Green found a balance between his religious calling and secular music and went on to release several new albums. Considered by music writers as the last true successor of Sam Cooke and Otis Redding, Al Green has enjoyed a long and rewarding career as a pop and gospel singer.
Coming back to the centerpiece, that's in the room, the furniture. Yeah, the centerpiece.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Net Worth Now, where you get to see the lifestyle and net worth of your favorite celebrities. We hope you enjoy these videos, and if you do, please remember to hit the like button and comment below who your favorite celebrity is so we can feature them in an upcoming video.
His full name is Albert Lawrence Green, also known as the Reverend Al Green. He was born on April 13, 1946 in Forest City, Arkansas, United States, making him about 75 years old at the time of this production. He stands at 179 centimeters or 5 feet 8 inches tall. Green's former secretary, Linda Wills, filed a $25,000 civil suit against him in 1974. Wills charged that Green beat her and shoved her through a glass door in his Memphis office after a dispute about how much back pay she was entitled to for her duties. The civil suit was dropped because of conflicting testimony, but in 1975, they settled a $100,000 lawsuit for assault and battery charges. In 1977, Green and his former organ player, Larry Robinson, were arrested for assault on Memorial Day in Irving, Texas. According to Robinson, Green and his bodyguards jumped him when he confronted Green about owed money from previous gigs. They both posted bond on a misdemeanor charge. In 1978, he was charged with assault and battery for allegedly beating Lovey Smith unconscious with a tree limb. The charges were dismissed after Smith, who had moved, did not receive a subpoena and therefore missed the court date. On June 15, 1977, Green married his first wife, Shirley Green, in Memphis. Originally from Chicago, she was one of his backing vocalists and an employee at his church. Together, they have 3 daughters. Shirley first filed for divorce in 1978 on the grounds of cruelty and irreconcilable differences. She filed again in 1981, charging that Green had subjected her to domestic violence throughout their marriage. Green accused her of cruel and inhumane treatment in a countercomplaint. In a sworn deposition in 1982 as part of her divorce filing, Shirley testified that in 1978, while 5 months pregnant, Green beat her with a boot for refusing to sleep with him. She claimed that the assault resulted in head wounds, one of which required stitches. After the incident, she filed for divorce, but they reconciled. According to Shirley, they separated several times when the beatings became too frequent and too severe. Initially, Green denied beating his wife, but under oath in 1982, he admitted to striking her. The divorce was finalized in February 1983. Green agreed to pay her $432,800 in alimony and child support. In 1995, the story of Nicole Brown Simpson inspires Shirley to go public with the abuse she endured in order to help other victims. Green has 7 children, 3 sons, Chris Burse Jr., Al Green Jr., and Trevor, 4 daughters, Elva Lee, Ruby Renee, Cora Kishay, and Kayla. Green was reportedly remarried by the 1990s.
Miat Kishanan for the master. That's right. So that's right. You have to still keep coming back.
On October 18, 1974, Green's girlfriend, Mary Woodson, assaulted him, and then died by suicide at his Memphis home. Although she was already married with 3 children, Woodson became upset when Green refused to marry her. She doused him with a pot of boiling grits as he was preparing for bed in the bathroom, causing second-degree burns on his back, stomach, and arms, which required skin grafts. Shortly after, Woodson fatally shot herself with his .38 handgun. Police found an apparent suicide note inside Woodson's purse that declared her intentions and her reasons. A few days prior, Green had sent Woodson to convalesce at the home of his friend after she had taken a handful of sleeping pills and slit her wrists. Green cited this incident as a wake-up call to change his life. Days after Green was released from Baptist Memorial Hospital, Memphis, where he was treated for his burns, he was reportedly held hostage at gunpoint by his cousin, who demanded that he owed her money. Green refused to press charges. In 1976, Green established the Full Gospel Tabernacle Church in Memphis. Green resides and preaches in Memphis near Graceland. He is a member of the Prince Hall Masons, the African-American wing of Freemasonry, at the 33rd degree. In September 2013, Green's sister Maxine Green was reported missing from her assisted living home in Grand Rapids, Michigan. According to her daughter LaShaw, Green has not reached out to the family about his sister. As of March 2020, she is still missing. He began performing at a young age, singing gospel music with his family as part of the Green Brothers. Even after the Green family moved to Michigan, the Green Brothers continued touring on the gospel circuit. After being kicked out of the family home for listening to secular music of Jackie Wilson, Green started a group called the Creations, which later became Al Green and the Soulmates. The Soulmates had one hit, Backup Train, which brought them to a successful appearance at New York City's Apollo Theater. As a teenager, Green and his brothers Walter, William, and Robert formed a gospel quartet, the Green Brothers. Though he sang in the gospel group, Green had developed an affinity for both religious and popular music. At age 12, Green moved with his family to Grand Rapids, Michigan, a city about 180 miles west of Detroit. 4 years later, he and several school friends formed a pop group, the Creations. In 1967, the group, renamed Al Green and the Soulmates, recorded the pop hit Backup Train for the Hotline label. The song rose to number 5 on the R&B charts and number 41 on the Billboard charts. In 1969, Al Green met bandleader and High Records vice president Willie Mitchell while on tour in Midland, Texas. Impressed with Green's voice, he signed the singer to High Records and began collaborating with Al on his debut album. Released in early 1970, Green's debut album, Green is Blues, showcased the signature sound. Let's Stay Together, released in 1972, was his first genuine hit album. Climbing to number 8 on the pop charts, its title track became his first number 1 single. By the release of 1973's Call Me, Green was known as both a hitmaker and an artist who released consistently engaging, frequently excellent, critically acclaimed albums. By the time Green released the album The Bell Album in 1977, Green's record sales had plummeted. Partially due to Green's own personal issues during this time and his desire to become a minister. Continuing to record R&B, Green saw his sales start to slip and drew mixed reviews from critics. In 1979, he injured himself falling off the stage while performing in Cincinnati and took this as a message from God. He then concentrated his energies towards pastoring his church and gospel music. From 1981 to 1989, Green recorded a series of gospel albums.
School in the 7th grade, which they're supposed to take them in the 9th grade, but that's right, and I continued that throughout until I graduated, yeah.
Al Green's estimated income is said to be around $50,000 to $100,000 per annum. As of 2021, Al Green's net worth is estimated to be $30 million. He lives in Memphis in a house that is estimated to be worth $750,000. In his garage, you can find a Cadillac Escalade, a Mercedes E-Class, a Lincoln Continental, and a 1950s Dodge Coronet.